Good morning. It's bright and early, but I'm running out the door because I have a hair appointment that is in desperate need to be done. That's also why it looks so bad right now. The first time I ever dyed my hair was right around Christmas time, and that was the first and only time I've ever gotten a global. And my roots are pretty dark to begin with. They always have been, they probably always will be. So even when I have the slightest grow out, I think it looks horrible. So I'm so excited for this appointment, but I'm about to be sitting there for a fat minute. I want to say last time it took 6 hours. So I'm packing a snack now. Also, cue my montage of my beautiful breakfast this morning. Hi! Oh my God, I'm like sweating. Every time I go to a hair appointment, I get very self-conscious. I think it's mainly because everybody at the salon obviously already has great hair. So I strut in, my hair hasn't been washed in 6 days. I've got flyaways, I've got streaks, I've got grease, like everything just looks bad. And then I sit there for hours on end. I have to pee. So I have to waddle over to the bathroom with a full head of foils on. And I know that's common in the salon, but I feel weird. I feel uncomfortable. So as a pre-snack, I have an apple. I have a lot of nursing friends and they've always told me that apples wake you up more than a cup of coffee. They'll always eat apples before a long shift or something. Now, I have no idea if that's true or not, but I have a bad habit of leaning into placebos. But just in case that's utter baloney, I brought a Verb bar so I could have actual energy. Then if I have the chance, in my handy dandy bag of tricks, I also brought an RX bar. I need to stock up my protein bar selection right now. I'm out of my Bearbells, I'm out of my favorites. RX is good because they have good ingredients, but to be honest, I get very bored of them. But that's what you gotta do when you're in a pickle, when you're on the run. You can't always like make fresh meals, and sometimes you have to just deal with what you have. We love snacks here, all right? So you gotta come prepared. Now, wish me luck. It's the last time you're gonna see this ugly head of hair right now. I don't know if you can see how silver this hair is right now. Sorry. It's basically purple. I am beyond obsessed. I really need to wait and see it in natural lighting. For some reason, the salon has really yellow lighting. So every time I go in there, my hair looks very, very blonde, almost just yellow actually. And then I come outside and it's translucent. So I'm gonna keep showing you different angles. I'm gonna be that person for a second. But I think for months, like ever since I wanted to dye my hair, I wanted it just silver, 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 bright, bright and ashy and just pretty and cute. I think like a mix of Dany from Game of Thrones and Billie Eilish, like 2014 era. And I feel like we're almost there. Like this is definitely the most gray I've ever been. And I don't like to use the word gray, crap. Silver. It feels so silver, and I have to turn on the AC because it's like 90 degrees. But we're very, very hungry. We gotta go get Reese. We're gonna go for a walk. Enjoy the day. You know, you feel kind of alive after a fresh new haircut. We have 2. Oh, what? Here you go, another one. Another one. I always do this. I just came home, and you know when you're exhausted from pretty much doing nothing? Like I sat in a salon chair for 4 or 5 hours, and I came home, I'm like, oh, all I want to do is sit, you know? It's kind of funny how that happens. But anyways, I basically just finished off this entire carton of strawberries, which was delicious, but I need to actually give my body some more fuel so I don't just keep snacking away. There's nothing wrong with snacking, but I know that if I actually gave my body like a proper meal with multiple macro and micronutrients, it'd be a lot more effective than just downing a carton of strawberries that I literally just purchased and I can't keep in my refrigerator for more than 3 days because they're so stinking good. Like, summer fruit. We gotta eat it. I decided to also make myself a coffee. It is a little bit late, but I did a decaf, so I think it'll be fine. And then I'm going to put in a little bit of protein. I always worry that I don't get enough protein in my diet because I just don't eat that much turkey and chicken and beef, fish, anything like that. I just don't always incorporate it into my diet. So that's the only reason why I'm always using protein powder. If you feel like you have plenty of protein in your diet just naturally, then don't worry about needing to add in supplements into your diet. I think sometimes supplements are very much overshared, maybe even overhyped. And truly, like, they are just that. They are supplements. So they're adding good things to your routine, maybe if you need them, or they're adding more protein if you don't get it from other more natural sources. But by no means, like, should you ever feel like you absolutely have to buy protein, pre-workout, creatine, like whatever. It's all a supplement. Who would have thunk? I think I'm gonna do a very Taylor-esque meal right now. I haven't actually made a sweet potato in quite some time, much to probably your big surprise. Oh, she wants a sweet potato too. We're gonna do sweet potato, avocado, a little bit of eggs, eggs not upside down, and then probably some spring mix. It's kind of funny because I'll make these videos and then it just allows me to realize I eat like the same 4 things all of the time, but there's nothing wrong with a staple. In fact, huge fan of staples over here. I like to keep it simple. I like to keep it easy and delicious. And if there's something that you know keeps you happy, is very satious, full of satiety, I'm always so bad at saying that word, keeps you, you know, satisfied, then make it all the time. Who cares? I'm not gonna give you the full explanation on the sweet potato. If you know, you know. Cook it however you want. Not out here for the haters. Microwave life or bust. Although I do have to say, an oven baked sweet potato, honestly, not much beats it. Boom. I don't know if I'm just tooting my own horn, but I think this hair color might make me look tanner. I am a little bit tan at the moment, but I don't know, I think it's the contrast. 2 eggs. It's really sad to think back on, but I remember the days when I was really young and I felt like I was too scared to eat the yolk of an egg because of, well, diet culture. I literally was told that eating the yolk wasn't great and basically would avoid it at all costs without ever actually taking the time to look into that information. That was, I don't know, I just so blindly followed. It's just really sad to think how many things I've taken so much time to unlearn that so negatively impacted me at such a young age. I mean, there are so many more bigger things we need to be worrying about in life than the yolk of an egg. No! Look at that. Golly gee, I'm excited. We're gonna put our beautiful little eggs on top of the sweet potato. I think there's a lot of growth on this channel that we really need to be acknowledging, you know? Come a long way together. You know me, I don't like sauces, I don't like dressings, so just for my salad, I like to do just the smallest bit of lemon, but there's so many good dressings out there. I've seen some pretty good ones at Trader Joe's. They have a nice spicy cashew butter or something like that. Golly, that's pretty good. Like, I was pretty shocked, especially coming from somebody who's just a dressing hater. It's so funny to me because you think back to when you were a kid and you thought the only options on the menu were ranch, ketchup, mayo, and nowadays it feels like there's literally every type of food you could ever imagine. This is already making me so beyond excited, okay? This is just a sweet potato, eggs, a little bit of spring mix, and avocado. So for me, this is so beyond perfect. It makes me happy. It makes me feel full, well-nourished. You all know me, like, this is incredibly easy to make. I always have a hard time with lunch. Like, that's always been my biggest struggle. I've just never been a lunch gal. But don't ever feel like, you know, you gotta stick to the normal lunch menu, all right? Find what works for you. Isn't that the theme here? Isn't that the overall goal? Beautiful plate, protein coffee, gallon of water. What a beautiful trio. And now I zone out on TikTok. Dried mangoes are my absolute favorite when I walk by the kitchen snack. You know those snacks that you have that are so easy to grab from the pantry? Dried mangoes, my go-to. Anyways, I didn't want to forget to mention that today is actually a big time rest day for me. Obviously, I just sat in a salon chair for 5-6 hours. I've worked out all week. I want to relax. I'm going to probably do nothing. It's important to mention rest days because sometimes we forget to rest our bodies, or we think we take a rest day and then all of our progress goes away. That's actually quite the opposite because our bodies need rest. They want rest, and they actually do better when we give them rest. And I also do not change my diet whatsoever on rest days. I eat exactly the same. I don't change how many calories I take in. I eat whatever I want. Just because you're not working out doesn't mean you shouldn't be fueling your body properly. Make sure you're listening to your signals, but nourish yourself, you know? Take care of yourself.
A few moments later.
So I just woke up. This is the kind of thing that happens when I just let myself potato on the couch. All of a sudden I look up, it's like 2 hours later. This is gonna sound weird, but I actually hate naps because of the way I feel when I wake up. Like I wake up guilty, I wake up stressed, I wake up groggy, and I'm supposed to be taking a nap because maybe I was tired or maybe, I don't know, I just wanted to and it happened, but I hate the way that I feel once I wake up. And it's probably because maybe I was sleeping long enough or short enough, whatever, to go into my REM cycle, so I wake up like super disturbed. But either way, it's super frustrating. So I'm working on that. I'm working on it. And I'm here alone because Keith is away this weekend. So now I feel even more silly because I don't know. I spared you the boring details of watching me reheat my dinner, but this is also such a life hack, you know? I am not one to meal prep, and I'm not even gonna tell you to meal prep because frankly, I can't. I think it kind of gets gross. By like day 2 or 3, like the veggies would be soggy. The one thing that I do meal prep, or I guess the 2 things, are rice and sometimes if we have it, like ground turkey or sometimes chicken. We have a rice cooker, so then we just cook it all at the beginning of the week and we keep it in one of the Pyrexes. Same thing with the turkey. Look, I'm almost out. This is basically like a very easy go-to dinner for Keith and I. Basically, it's a bed of lettuce with rice, turkey, and avocado. And then I usually top it off with Cholula or maybe some lemon for the lettuce. When you get it, always buy it in these boxes. So much better than the bags. One of the best things I've been trying to do lately is just add more vegetables into my diet because I'm not gonna lie, I avoided vegetables for some time. And I wanna say, I don't wanna blame it on Keith, but sometimes boys forget about vegetables, or at least this boy does. So we'd have dinner and it would be rice and turkey. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you know, you need a little bit more green. So I always just, whatever we're having, I'll add a spring mix to it, or arugula is honestly the best and my favorite. And I find that if I make that as the base of whatever I'm eating, I can still incorporate everything, but it's gonna make it just that little bit more nutritious, just that little bit more, you know, full of those micronutrients that otherwise I would have neglected. I never neglect you though, I love you. It works for me. That's all I'm saying. Everything here, you know, it's all experiential. I can't honestly say that once I started focusing more on what I was fueling my body with, I instantly felt so much more energized and even just more confident because I could finally feel like I was more in tune with what I was giving my body on a day-to-day basis. And I was a lot more aware of it and how my body was reacting to the foods I was giving it. Hands down, was the best decision I made for me in my health journey because I was always neglecting my diet. It is really true. Like, diet is beyond important and sometimes even more important than a fitness routine because it's what energizes ourselves throughout the entire day. Like, we want to make sure we're taking care of ourselves. This is gonna sound really weird and it took me a long time to get to this point. Okay, we're crooked, we've got this. But anytime that I'm feeling overwhelmed or I just need kind of a moment to reset, like I'm about to spiral, all because I took a nap and I woke up just feeling weird, I just walk outside. Like, I take Reese, we go out together, we just do a little loop, we just kind of take a deep breath together. She takes a few, but you know, figure of speech, and it's so nice. And there's something about just being outside. There's something about being outside that just kind of helps ground me. And even if I have, this is getting so cheesy, even if I have something on my mind that is stressing me out, I feel overwhelmed about something, literally, if I take a quick walk, even if I don't have time for a walk, if I just walk outdoors, instantly, I'm reminded how small my problems are. I'm reminded that anything I'm probably worrying about is so insignificant. It won't matter tomorrow. It won't matter in 10 years. And I'm just this little being on this beautiful earth, and I should just be enjoying the day that I've been gifted. So that's my cheesy little moment for you all. But if you ever get into those little, I don't know, I call them like my spiral moments. If you ever feel like you're just gonna have a spiral moment, if you can find yourself in that moment and get yourself outside, try it. I don't know. I'm weird right now. Maybe it's the nap, but it's good advice, I think, I promise. I know I sound ridiculous, but I already feel better. I am not an introspective person. This is like very unnatural for me to be talking about this. But the more I think about it, the more I recognize how incredibly grateful my life is and blessed and fortunate. Okay, I'm putting a kettle for myself on the stove. This is really interesting. I don't think I've ever filmed on a day that I've been this anxious. I wish I could pinpoint or at least explain why I'm feeling this way. But I suppose it's also a good thing that you're seeing a different side to me that I'm not always displaying. Sometimes I edit my videos and I'm like, wow, I had a lot of energy that day, or maybe I had a lot of coffee that morning. Also, I'm wearing shorts. I just walked outside in shorts. That's a huge accomplishment. So we're celebrating all of the victories today. But yeah, sometimes I'm editing a video and I'm like, wow, that's a lot. Like, that is a lot of Taylor being displayed at the moment. And I'm okay with that because that's genuinely who I am, and when I'm filming and when I'm talking about things that I'm passionate about, I naturally get more excited, I naturally have more energy, so it's always fun. It's never an act, or I never turn on the camera and instantly I'm like, hey everybody! But at the same time, like, you know you have a camera on, so there's always going to be that element of kind of like holding yourself a little bit higher, mainly because you know that you're going to be watching this footage later and you also want to make a good video. But sometimes, you know, you have these days, and this is okay too. What? Also me realizing that when I don't work out, I still live the most quarantine life, and these sorts of vlogs, what I eat in a day, I'm pretty boring. I really am. Sometimes I'm like, why would I even film this? Like, absolutely, literally nobody would care. So I'm sorry, this is just so much more of a chill day, but that's also probably 90% of my days. But actually, right now, I'm going to sit down and film my first podcast. That's right, folks. You heard me correctly. I'm going to do my first ever video podcast. This is going to be my 50th episode special, which just immediately reminds me of iCarly. 50th web show spectacular. But I've been thinking about this for a while, and I always held myself back because I always thought, oh, I need this proper setup, I need to make it look this way, blah, blah, blah. And either way, it's going to be the same type of content, and the creators that I watch on their podcasts, on the television, are really just sitting in fancy, pretty studios. So I can make one little corner of my house feel like a fancy little studio. I was kind of thinking this is going to be where I'm going to be podcasting, at least until I can find something that I really and truly like. I want like cute lights to go down the back, or I want something that's just a little bit more, I don't know, pleasant to look at, but at least this is a cute corner. I'm basically gonna position myself here. I don't know, we'll make it fun. Go check it out, go watch it. It's already up. Hopefully I did all right. I think I need a Christmas mug today. That'll do the trick. This, I don't know if it's all placebo, but I swear it's wonderful. I'm just a serial placebo believer. I'm totally coining that phrase, but it's true. Like, you tell me something works, I don't even look into it. I'm like, yep, you're right, it's true. Placebo, baby. I think that's also just a testament to how blissfully trustful I am. Like, I just have faith in the world and humanity and people. You tell me something, I'm on board, I'm your biggest supporter, I believe you. And that's probably one of my biggest weaknesses as well. And the messy, messy office. This is the BTS, y'all. I've got my co-pilot on the floor. This will be the camera that I am recording the podcast on, but I'm actually going to be still linking the audio through the computer just because I'm nervous. I'm nervous something's gonna go wrong. I'm probably missing something, a chord or two, but here we have it, folks. The funny thing is, I normally will sit down in my pajamas, messy hair. The only reason my hair looks like this is because I just went to the salon. Otherwise, I don't think that sort of attire is going to change on the video version, but you do feel a bit more pressure knowing that the camera's right in front of you. But we've upgraded, okay? This is our little glow up. I used to record my podcast in the closet. Here we are in our little studio of sorts. This is so... wish me luck. If you haven't already watched or listened, go check it out, stream it wherever you want, or watch it right here on YouTube on the Don't Get It Twisted podcast channel. We gotta work on that. Look at this, baby. We did it. Video podcast 50th web show spectacular. That was so much fun. I really got nervous, I'm not gonna lie. I think I just felt so much more aware of every movement I ever made. And I described this too, but I just talk so much with my hands. And I never realized it before until you're staring at yourself in the viewfinder. You're talking like this and everything that you're doing. I'm doing this intentionally now, but still, it was so much fun. I'm so glad I finally just, we did it. We did it. These are my podcast glasses now. Made it a fish. Then of course, I made my tea and I didn't have a single sip because I got too nervous. And I forgot about it. So, as I always do in my life, I'm going to celebrate my first ever video podcast with some food. Food is just the best. What I'm thinking, having some dates with a little bit of peanut butter or pistachio butter or a little bit of my broma. This would be kind of like a coconutty Nutella vibe that is absolutely fantastic. And right now I'm kind of thinking, why not all three? A little taste test, if we will. I know, you're all gonna tell me to put it in the freezer, it's gonna taste better. I'm aware, I'm too nervous. I'm so stinking nervous. My teeth make me wanna cringe. I couldn't. I don't know when the phobia of cracking a tooth is going to end, but it's not in the near future. Okay, we're gonna taste test number one with what I think is probably gonna be the worst one, peanut butter. I'm not a peanut butter hater. Now that we've unlocked the world of so many different types of nut butters, peanut butter is the least superior. This could be an open debate. Let me know in the comments. But honestly, cashew, everything else. And of course I don't even have cashew. That's the downside of eating it too quickly. I don't buy enough. This is absolutely so messy. Alas, peanut butter is a go. Cheers to you. Very overpowering. Like peanut butter has to be the main character. 100%. I don't think this comes as a surprise to anybody, but it is pretty darn good. It's just a little overpowering. I'd say 6.5 out of 10 on absolutely no ground to stand on. This is a cool one. It's definitely not as common. I wanna say my mom either specifically found this because she was looking for it for me or she ordered it online specifically for me. So I had to seek this out. You have to love pistachios. Round two. This is just phenomenal. I'm gonna go 8.5 out of 10. Because I don't know what the broma's gonna taste like. Maybe it's gonna knock everything out of the park. Gosh dang it. I'm gonna hold strong to my 8.5 because I do think that's fair, but I do know that if cashew was here, everything would be blown out of the water. I feel like the broma isn't exactly a fair comparison because obviously it's not a nut butter, but it's still gonna be delicious. And I feel like it's gonna be a really nice combo. Oh, look at that. Okay, here we go. Fantastic. I think that one had the most harmony. It really blended in so beautifully. But I would probably say 8 out of 10 for the broma, 8.5 for the pistachio, 6.5 for the Adams. And honestly, like 14 out of 10 for the dates alone. Like, gosh, I love dates. I love dates. I love them. I love them. I love them. I love them. In my opinion, truest nature's candy. Fabulous. Okay, friends, I'm literally so excited because this is the best time of day. I'm not releasing a single, don't worry. I still gotta finish some of my water, but honestly, I haven't had one of those nights where you just lay in bed kind of early and basically scroll through TikTok for the whole rest of the night. So that's what I'm about to do. I'm gonna hang with my main girl, Reese's Pieces Peanut Butter Cup Nugget Woods. I love you. That used to be her full name. I don't know if it's on the actual birth certificate, but it's in my heart. I love you all so much. I hope that you enjoyed this. Thank you for not teasing me in advance about my hair. I hope that you actually like it. I'm kind of nervous about it, to be honest, but I think it's like a cool, fun change. And I think every time I've gotten my hair done, I've wanted it to look like this. So it feels very surreal that we're finally there. But I hope that this was inspiring. I'm not inspiring. I don't know, maybe you got a few ideas, some food inspo for the day, but thanks so much for watching. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you. Comment something down below that makes you happy, or comment down below your favorite date combination, your favorite date dessert. Love you all so much. It was a pleasure hanging out. Look who's coming to join. We love you. Love you. Bye.